This evening, survivors rescued as the nation mourns the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 5 servicemen. President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali has declared a national day of mourning. We'll provide details on the fallen heroes and the nation's response to this heart-wrenching tragedy. Next, we turn to domestic matters with Dr. Ashni Singh's announcement of a 6.5 salary increase for public servants, teachers, and more. Additionally, a 1-month tax-free bonus is announced, including civilian employees of the Ghana Defense Force. In a developing story, officers from the Turkine police station apprehended Akirim Bristol in the North Safai area. We'll discuss the details of the apprehension, including the discovery of an unlicensed semi-automatic machine gun. In the region, we're reporting the release of Peru's former president Alberto Fujimori on the humanitarian grounds. Despite a 25-year sentence of human rights abuses, the Constitutional Court has ordered his release. We'll provide insights into this situation. Internationally, we address the ongoing issue of air pollution in major Indian cities, particularly New Delhi. Scientists have warned of the need for year-round decisive action. We'll discuss the measures being taken and the challenges ahead. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for December 8, 2023. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, announced a 6.5% salary increase for public servants, teachers, members of the disciplined services, constitutional office holders, and government pensioners today. The pay increase will be retroactive from January 1st, 2023. Additionally, the minister announced a 1-month tax-free bonus for members of the disciplined service. For the first time, this bonus will also be paid to civilian employees of the Ghana Defense Force. In the aftermath of Wednesday's fatal Bell 412 crash in Guyana, the 2 survivors, Lieutenant Andrew Crawford and Corporal Dwayne Jackson, were successfully extracted from the accident site and flown to Blake Slater Aerodrome. Both individuals underwent medical checks before being transported to the Eugene F. Korai International Airport at Ogle. The devastating incident unfolded on Wednesday, December 6th, when a military aircraft carrying 7 members of the Ghana Defense Force crashed in the Essequibo region. The crash resulted in the tragic loss of 5 servicemen, Commander of the 1st Infantry Battalion, Colonel Michael Shahood, veteran pilot Lieutenant Colonel Michael Charles, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Welcome, retired Brigadier Gary Beaton, and Sergeant Jason Can. Investigations are currently underway to determine the cause of the crash. The crash site, located at the Oruro area, east of the border with Venezuela, has become a focal point for investigators. However, unfavorable weather conditions at the time have added complexity to the investigative process. The tragic crash has not only affected the military community, but has also prompted an outpouring of condolences and solidarity from the citizens across Guyana. Meanwhile, President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali has declared a national day of mourning following the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of the 5 servicemen, who will be remembered as heroes and whose deaths have profoundly affected the nation. In response to the tragedy, the president calls for unity, shared humanism, and collective strength to cope with the sorrow. The commander of the armed forces has designated a day of prayer and reflection for Sunday, December 10th, 2023. All religious organizations in the country are urged to join hands in dedicating this day to honor the fallen heroes, offer comfort to grieving families, and pray for the swift recovery of the survivors. This day serves as an opportunity for diverse religious communities to come together, express gratitude for the sacrifices made by the servicemen, and reflect on their dedication to duty. The president hopes that the day of prayer and reflection will provide healing and compassion, bringing comfort to grieving hearts and strength to those enduring the aftermath of the devastating helicopter crash. Stick around when we return. 41-year-old man charged for sexual assault of a minor, and Sophia man arrested with unlicensed semi-automatic firearm.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel.
Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Hold on to your Santa hats. because there's up to $50 million in cash to be won. Activate any data plan and you can be one of 14 winners to join Digicel's Spin to Win game show, where you can win millions in cash. Activate a data plan today on the best network and make this Christmas the best one yet.
Digital.
It's Christmas at Kissoon's Furniture Store. We are fully stocked for the holidays with a wide variety of furniture to choose from store-wide. Beautiful sofas, dinette sets, rugs, pillows, foam and hybrid cooling mattresses in all sizes, beds in king, queen and single sizes, and so much more. Come on down to our mega store or our Rob Street location. Merry Christmas from Kissoon's Furniture Store.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. Here's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radical went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Welcome back. In the early hours of Thursday morning, officers from the Turkine police station apprehended 27-year-old Akeem Bristol in the North Sophia area. The officers were on patrol duties just past midnight when they observed Bristol riding a bicycle with a cart attached through a cross street. Upon noticing the police presence, Bristol hastily dismounted his bike and attempted to evade capture. However, the quick response and efficiency of the officers led to the successful apprehension of Bristol, a vendor residing in North Sophia Squatting area. A subsequent search of Bristol's cart revealed a black plastic bag containing a Uzi semi-automatic machine gun with an empty magazine. When questioned about possessing a firearm license, Bristol admitted to not being a licensed firearm holder. However, he told officers that he found it in a trench on Sophia Road. Bristol was arrested and escorted to the Alberto police station. Upon examination, no serial number was found on the frame of the firearm. Bristol remains in custody as investigation into the incident continues. The authorities are actively working to gather additional information about the origin and ownership of the unlicensed semi-automatic firearm. In other news, a two-day in-country cyber sensitization and training workshop for members of the Ghana Police Force and other security personnel from the joint services commenced at the Police Officers Mess Annex, Ivlery on Thursday, December 8th, coordinated by the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security and the European Union. The training focuses on providing insight into regional and national cybercrime trends and capacity building initiatives. The opening ceremony was attended by Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips and Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben, among others. Moving on, in a stark betrayal of the sacred duty adults bear to protect children, 41-year-old Kevin D'Souza of Bartica is accused of an alleged sexual assault committed on an 11-year-old girl, which occurred between the 1st and the 31st of July 2021 at Bartica. D'Souza appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court to answer to the charge of rape of a child under 16 years on December 7, 2023. The charge was read to D'Souza by Magistrate Esther Sam, and he was not required to plead to the indictable charge. He was placed on $300,000 cash bail. The matter was adjourned to December 22, 2023. Don't go away after the break. Political cost of the U.S. president's stance and pollution scientists. More divisive action is needed in India.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digital.
This Christmas, it's all about the best. Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Get half off and a whopping 50 gigs of data when you purchase the Samsung A04 for just $14,000, the Samsung A14 for just $29,000, or the Samsung A24 for just $35,000. That's right, half off and 50 gigs of data. It doesn't get any better than this. So why wait? This Christmas, buy nothing but the best. Offer good while stocks last.
Digital.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services. 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
It's Christmas at Kissoon's Furniture Store. We are fully stocked for the holidays with a wide variety of furniture to choose from store-wide. Beautiful sofas, dinette sets, rugs, pillows, foam and hybrid cooling mattresses in all sizes. Beds in king, queen and single sizes and so much more. Come on down to our mega store or our Rob Street location. Merry Christmas from Kissoon's Furniture Store.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Peru's former president Alberto Fujimori has been released from prison on humanitarian grounds. The 85-year-old was serving a 25-year sentence for committing human rights abuses in the 1990s. The Constitutional Court ordered his release despite the Inter-American Court of Human Rights asking for a delay to study the ruling. Al Jazeera's Mariana Sanchez reports from Lima.
Hugs and smiles of relief. 85-year-old Alberto Fujimori leaves prison in Lima, flanked by his children Keiko and Kenji, and welcomed by a crowd of supporters. Peru's Constitutional Court reinstated the former president's pardon, denied since 2017 by the Inter-American Court for Human Rights. Judges say the International Court has no authority over Fujimori's fate and ordered his release on humanitarian grounds.
Feliz, agradecida. I am happy and thankful because the Constitutional Court ensured our sovereignty prevailed by reinstating the 2017 pardon and ensuring his prompt release.
The former president had been serving a 25-year sentence for the extrajudicial killings of 25 Peruvians, including a child. He has not paid any of the more than $15 million owed in reparations to families of the victims. Instead, he spent the past 16 years maintaining his innocence.
The road has been long and painful for our family. We want to start over. There's no place for hatred in our hearts.
The government supported the Constitutional Court's order, even though it contradicts the international ruling.
Compliance with the rulings of the Constitutional Court does not ignore our obligations derived by international treaties and the Inter-American System for Human Rights. We ratify our firm adherence to the American Convention on Human Rights.
Supporters say they've waited a long time for this day. They credit Fujimori with the defeat of the rebel group Shining Path and saving the economy from collapse in the 1990s.
Alberto Fujimori built schools, highways, hospitals around the country and brought us peace. He was Peru's best president.
This is the end of another chapter for Fujimori. But on Thursday, a new trial begins for the torture and killing of 6 farmers by Fujimori's death squad. A prosecutor wants him kept under house arrest during these court proceedings, which families of the victims say offer another chance for justice to be served. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima.
Central to the ongoing war in Gaza is the role of the U.S. President Joe Biden. He made a trip to Israel days after October 7th to show his unwavering support for Israel. Al Jazeera's Patty Kalhan explains it's coming at a political cost.
From the beginning of the conflict, U.S. President Joe Biden has been consistent, often repeating Israel's justifications for its siege and bombardment of Gaza.
I never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children.
A damning statement from a U.S. president, except his aides later said it wasn't true. He didn't see anything, just repeated what he had heard in the media. When the Al-Ali hospital was shelled, within hours he blamed, quote, the other team. And he made sure to send a message of support, in person. In deeds, sending 2 aircraft carrier groups to the region. And with assets, sending missiles, ammunition, and reportedly 100 bunker buster bombs to Israel, along with the pledge of more than $14 billion in additional assistance. About 3 weeks into the war, Biden was asked about the growing Palestinian death toll.
I'm sure innocents have been killed, and it's the price of waging a war, but I have no confidence in the number that the Palestinians are using.
He has called for restraint, but not condemned the lack of it by Israel's military. Asked for additional humanitarian aid, not demanded it. Biden heralded his role in getting a temporary ceasefire, but as the fighting began again, he reportedly told Netanyahu the military should not fight in the south with the same intensity they had in the north. It appears they did anyway. No public response from the U.S. president. Tens of thousands of people in the U.S. have held countless pro-Palestinian marches demanding he do more and pledging they will never vote for Biden again.
It's going to be a hard no for me. It's going to be a hard no. Yeah. Okay. Not to say I'll vote for the other party either, but I'm going to have to see if there's an independent candidate that I can get behind.
And it's showing up in the polls, as the American media keeps pointing out.
He is 50 points underwater with the youngest group of voters.
Political analysts say this could cost him as he seeks re-election.
His support has decreased now to 17% of the Arab American electorate. So he's already losing a huge support among a key population, especially when we're looking at a swing state like Michigan, where Arab Americans and Muslim Americans make up a larger percentage of the electorate.
With just under a year until the election, Biden's team is likely hoping many will forget or vote for Biden because they dislike his opponent more. In a close election, that could be a costly calculation. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And finally, every winter, major Indian cities, especially the capital New Delhi, are affected by polluted air. Scientists says corrective measures are too little too late and warn that decisive actions is needed throughout the year, not just in the winter months. Al Jazeera's Meneli Fernandez reports.
8-year-old Rian Uppal has relied on medication to help him breathe since he was 2. Moving from New Delhi, India's congested capital, to a suburb on the outskirts of the city hasn't helped.
He develops intermittent cough, which at times intensifies, that we have to put him on intensive therapy.
Tens of thousands of Indians, many of them children like Rian, suffer from asthma, pneumonia and other respiratory diseases caused by pollution. When the cold weather sets in, they crowd hospital emergency rooms. The air quality starts deteriorating from November, when farmers burn crop stubble ahead of the new planting season. Adding to emissions are vehicle exhaust fumes and dust from construction sites. The result is a toxic mix, one that is killing hundreds of thousands.
I, as a chest surgeon, now rarely see a normal pink lung even in non-smokers. So that's a huge change in the color of an organ of people that I, as a chest surgeon, have been witness to in the last 35 years of my career. And this is primarily due to pollution, because if a non-smoker develops black deposits in the lungs, it can only be because of the air.
The very poor reading of the air quality means pollution levels are more than 25 times the World Health Organization's recommended limit. Environmental activists say the government needs to address all contributing factors.
Action needs to be year-round, action especially on sources that are present within the city, whether it be construction dust, whether it be biomass burning, whether it be transport emissions and industrial emissions. All of these require sustained year-round action.
Recent studies have shown that exposure to pollution over a long period can cause high blood pressure and significantly increase the risk of diabetes. Authorities have tried to regulate crop burning and have imposed restrictions to control vehicle emissions. But scientists say more decisive action is needed to protect the health of millions of people in one of the most polluted cities in the world. Meneli Fernandez, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 30-minute forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be out for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other, and do have a wonderful weekend.